What a play from kickoff! And Madison Troy! Yes, tie game!
And Madison
What a catch! Here's coming home. What a play! What a play! The double play from Jerry Langston. And that ball is out of here. Walk-off home run, Jake Oliver. He's advancing home. I don't know if I like it. Oh! He got him. Oh my God! He crossed the plate before he was there. That's a fair ball. What a play from kickoff. And that is destroyed. Tie game. Play down the third baseline. Peter makes a great play from Peter McNeil.
Steps on second, throws over to first. He actually did it! That's a rock!
In play down the third baseline. Peter makes a great play from Peter McNeil.
Oh! Philip goes to Brock's walk off the season.
Cross, get out, ball later. And that ball is out of here. Walk off home run, Jake Oliver. That ball's in play. Goes back, Keeper King. Nakatoma's Playhouse makes the grab.
He's riding third. He's heading home. Oh, he's out. He's gonna be out.
I don't know if I like it. That ball is absolutely tattooed. And what a roll! What a roll from Keaton again.
Now we'll do it the Nighthawks are the 2023 AWA champions.
Flare it up. What a play for Peter McNeil.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to AWA Wiffle Ball 2024. The big matchup here today as the Central Cyclones take on the Southern Stingers, who currently have the best record in the AWA. So we wait for the players to come in here shortly. Let's get right into the lineups.
Peter McNeil, Eastern Washington University.
Jordan Rice, University of the Westgate Cougars.
Drew Tenzar, University of Washington.
Cole Blevins, Edmonds Woodway High School.
Kyle Cody, University of Washington.
Barrett Carlo, Meadowdale Middle School.
And that is your Southern Stingers lineup. We will get right into the Central Cyclones.
Evan Clugston, Duke University.
Jackson Carr, I'm him.
Zane Phillips, Malley Terrace High School.
Alex Ballard, Kings Elementary.
Jeremy Langstead, Sherwood.
Salou Fati, West Appalachian State, Junior Community College.
And with that, we will look at the weather as the players are warming up.
Good evening. This is Joe Acord from the AWA Weather Center. And after I was scolded by Granny on Monday for the crappy weather, tonight I give you mostly clear skies, winds less than 10 miles per hour, and temperature in the upper to mid 50s. Granny, do you approve? And as we look at future weather, pretty good storm system comes in on the weekend with lots of rain chances, possibly lingering into Monday for the game. But we'll have to keep an eye on that. Everybody have a great evening. Enjoy the great weather. How does the weather look from the booth, guys?
It's looking pretty good, Joe. Thanks for the weather report as always. And as we wait for the final players to show up, we will have first pitch in a matter of minutes.
Boys on the Boat.
Field of Dreams.
Step Brothers.
Interstellar.
Oh, yeah, Ponyo.
Remember the Titans.
Basketball.
Probably most recently Oppenheimer.
Inception.
Prisoners.
Sandlot.
The Rookie.
Yeah, we watched the Inside the Killer Mind of Aaron Hernandez or whatever that is.
Neighbors.
Interstellar.
Ratatouille.
Blazing Saddles.
Right now, it's Hacksaw Ridge. Star Wars, Revenge of the Fallen, I think. Or Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Fallen?
What movie is
that?
Good evening, Wiffle Ball fans, and we are about to start game number 1 between the Central Cyclones and the Southern Stingers. We're waiting for all the players to get out onto the field, and so we should have this game underway shortly. Evan Clugston will be on the mound for the Cyclones here tonight. Jordan Rice will lead it off for the Southern Stingers. Evan Clugston, this will be his first series of the 2024 series. Of the 2024 season. Evan Clugston was not here for the first series for the Cyclones, so this was the first we've seen of Evan Clugston this year. First pitch is low and outside here to Jordan Rice for ball 1. And the riser is just high for ball 2, so 2 balls, no strikes to Jordan Rice. Inside for ball 3, 3-0. And that's fouled off. 3-1 is the count here to Rice in game number 1 of this series between the Cyclones and the Stingers. The Stingers off to a fantastic start so far this year. They are 3-0. Looking to continue their unbeaten streak here in 2024. Barrett Carlo to the plate. A little bit of maybe nerves here to start the season for Evan Clugston. Been some time since he's thrown a wiffle ball in a game. We saw that walk to Jordan Rice to start the ball game. And he's now looking at a 3-0 count here to Barrett Carlo, as that is high. So a 4-pitch walk to Barrett Carlo, and Evan Clugston has now walked the first 2 batters to start this ball game. Peter McNeil is going to step in, and McNeil, this is Peter's first excuse me, his walk-up song just came on, and it's the fruit salad song. So that's an interesting walk-up song. It's what I was trying to say is this is the first we've seen Peter McNeil this season. He missed the first series with the Stingers, but Stingers did very well without McNeil, winning all 3 games against the Wolfpack just a couple of weeks ago. 2-1 is the count here to McNeil. And the slider is in there for strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes now the count. Just outside, full count now to McNeil. And that's ball 4. So Evan Clugston has now walked the bases loaded here in his first game, first inning of 2024. And we've seen this happen to Evan Clugston many times in his career, where when he starts off, he can be a little shaky, but once he settles in, he can really dial in and really be effective for this team. We'll see if he can do that here tonight. And that's inside for ball 2, 2-0. Popped up into the air into foul territory.
Ooh. And
Zane Phillips unable to make the grab. 2-1. Hits the zone, strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And that's inside here to Drew Tenzar. So full count now to Tenzar. Outside ball 4, and that'll walk in the game's first run. So the Stingers now lead it 1-0, and Evan Clugston has now been able to get out any of the batters he's faced, and he's walked 4 batters in a row to start the ball game. Definitely not the start you wanted if you're Evan Clugston and the Central Cyclones. Clugston now going to face Cole Blevins, still trying to get the first out here in the first inning. And the riser is high for ball 1, 1-0. That hits the bottom part of the zone. Great pitch there from Evan Clugston. Just waiting for him to settle in. Blevins swings and misses there. And Clugston now finds himself ahead for the first time tonight. Hits the zone, strike 3, and there's the first strikeout of the 2024 season for Evan Clugston, and that's a strikeout he definitely needed. Bases loaded, 1 out. Back to the top of the order with Jordan Rice. And that might that strikeout might have been the momentum shift that Evan Clugston needed for the rest of this ball game. We'll soon find out as he starts Jordan Rice off 1-0. And that's now 2-0. Low and outside, 3 balls, no strikes. Rice does well to foul that one off. 3-0 count, 3-1. Yeah, definitely not the start Evan Clugston was hoping for, as that's inside, and he's going to walk in another run. So the Stingers now lead it 2-0 here in the top of the first. And, you know, it happens sometimes for pitchers. It's been a long off season. Evan Clugston has won multiple Cy Youngs in this league. He's looking a little shaky here in his first start. But, you know, he does have a strikeout, so we'll see if he can settle in and start to really be the dominant pitcher that we all know about here in the league. 1-on-1 here to Barrett Carlo. That's ripped up the middle and out of here. Barrett Carlo, a grand slam, and the Stingers have reached the run limit here. They lead it 6-0 in the top of the first. A nightmare start for Evan Clugston and the Central Cyclones as the Stingers just continue to be dominant here in 2024. The inning will come to a close. Stingers lead it 6-0. We go to the bottom of the first.
Evan? How you doing? Good, how are you? Horrible. You see what I just did? You know what? Good. You been throwing very much in the offseason? First throw. First throw, yeah.
Evan Clugston will lead it off here for the Central Cyclones in the bottom of the first. Looking to get some runs back as Jordan Rice starts him off with strike 1, a knuckleball. And Clugston goes around there for strike 2. So 0-2 now to Clugston. Way outside, ball 1. Jordan Rice, as we all know, has one of the nastiest pitches, if not the nastiest pitch in the league with that knuckleball. He went back to it right there. 2 balls, 2 strikes here to Clugston. Inside, ball 3, full count. And that's inside, so a great job from Evan Clugston to work a walk after starting that at bat down 0-2. And it's going to be a little bit of a climb for this Central Cyclones team. Down 6-0 here in the bottom of the first. Definitely not a situation that the Cyclones find themselves in very often, as Evan Clugston is normally just so effective in every single start that he has. And I can't say I've ever seen a start like this that he's had where he gives up 6 runs in the first inning of a ball game like that. Fouled off there by Alex Ballard. 2-1 is the count. And Alex Ballard had an unbelievable series in the first series with the Cyclones to start off the season. Had 4 home runs in that series, 3 of them coming in 1 inning. It was unbelievable, and Rice walks Alex Ballard. So kind of a similar start here for Jordan Rice. Just kind of like Evan Clugston walking the first couple of batters he's seen. We'll see if Jordan Rice can dial in here against Zane Phillips. Knuckleball inside for ball 1. And that's outside for ball 2. So Zane Phillips now on a nice hitter's count here, 2-0. low for ball 3, so the balls just continue to roll through for these pitchers here tonight as Rice is able to come back with a strike there, 3-1. Knuckleball is in there for strike 2, so a full count now here to Zane Phillips. Hits him for ball 4, so the bases have now been walked loaded here by Jordan Rice, so very similar starts for Evan Clugston and Jordan Rice. Both of them have walked the bases loaded to start the ball game. And we know how that went for the Cyclones. They ended up giving up 6 runs in the top of the first, but now threatening here, bases loaded, Jackson Carr looks at ball 1. And that's high for ball 2. So 2-0 now here to Carr, and the command issues for Jordan Rice are just a little bit off right now. So that's outside. So 3-0 here now to Jackson Carr. Carr might have been a courtesy swing there. Fouls that one off. 3-1. Outside, way outside for ball 4, and that'll walk in the first run of the game for the Cyclones. It's now 6-1, and this is something that we just do not see. I mean, we're talking about 2 very good pitchers in this league. Evan Clugston, arguably the best pitcher in the league, and Jordan Rice is absolutely up there within the top 5 in the league, or at least top 10. And both of these pitchers struggling tonight, cannot throw strikes. See if Rice can lock in here against Clugston. Clugston holds off. Ball 1. Behind him for ball 2, 2-0. Now the count. And the knuckle is just high there for ball 3. Swing and a miss there from Evan Clugston. Might have been a courtesy swing there on 3-0. Don't know for sure. 3-1, and that nicks Clugston's shoulder for ball 4. So that's going to walk in another run for the Cyclones. It's now 6-2, and this is not looking good. I mean, if I'm team captain Peter McNeil, I'm maybe thinking about, hey, you know, I might go get Jordan Rice, and I might just say, hey, you know, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to try to see what I can do. I haven't pitched yet here in the 2024 season, but, I mean, we're up 6-2. We got a 4-run lead. You know, we don't want to give this Cyclones team, you know, a chance to get back into this thing. Knuckleball is in there for strike 1, and that seems like the pitch that's really been working so far here for Rice, as he goes right back to it, hits the zone for strike 2. Swing and a miss, and he gets Alex Ballard, and that's a huge out here for the Stingers. So Rice threw Ballard 3 straight knuckleballs and is able to sit him down for the first out of the inning, and that's really been the only pitch that Rice has been effectively able to throw for strikes here tonight. All of his other pitches, his slider, his fastball, just have been missing, and that knuckleball just seems to be what he's going to need to use here in this inning. St. Phillips swinging a miss there for strike 1, 1-1. He goes around there. Call made by the umpire out there. So 1-2 is the count. Jason Morehouse making the call. That's outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Big swing and a miss, and Zane Phillips strikes out for out number 2. So Jordan Rice, after a shaky start here in the bottom of the first, has now retired the last 2 batters he's seen, both via the strikeout. So hopefully Jordan Rice is settling in here for the Stingers, because they don't want to let the Cyclones team back into this ball game up 4 runs. Inside here to Jackson Carr for ball 1. Outside for ball 2, 2-0. Outside for ball 3, inside for ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes to Jackson Carr. Bases are loaded, 2 away. And that's hit out to Barrett Carlo at first. Carlo makes the grab for out number 3. So After a shaky start, Jordan Rice walks in a couple of runs, but the Stingers, they still lead it 6-2 as we go to the top of the second here in game number 1.
Alright, we good?
Let's get it. All right. We're here in the top of the second at game number 1 between the Stingers and the Cyclones. I'm joined here alongside Tom Blayhouse, who's on color now with me. Tom, it's great to have you.
Good to be up here.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
As a guest commentator.
Absolutely. Peter McNeil up for the Stingers as he looks at ball 1, and as we were mentioning last inning, as McNeil fouls that one off. Might be the worst start to a ball game I have seen Evan Cluxton have ever in his career pitching. You know, giving up 6 runs in the top of the first, and we saw him walk the bases loaded and walk a couple runs in as well. I mean, just hoping that he can dial in here and be the effective pitcher that he is, as Peter McNeil hits that one out to right, and it goes over the right field wall for a solo home run. And the Stingers extend their lead. They now lead it 7-2 here in the top of the second.
Just enough to get it out. You know, didn't get much of it. But starting to warm up in Seattle, so the ball's
kind of carrying a little bit more. Yeah, it's the short porch out there and right. And Peter McNeil able to push that one out of here for a solo shot.
Just looked like Evan was getting a little bit more confidence, and then guy goes yard. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, it was looking like a good at bat there against Peter McNeil. Had him on the ropes for a second, but McNeil was able to take that one out of the yard for a solo shot, extending this Stingers lead by 5 runs. 3-1 is the count here to Drew Tenzar. Drop misses for ball 4, so Tenzar is on via the walk for the second time here this evening. Cole Blevins steps in.
Yeah, you can tell in Evan's body language he's just not feeling it right now.
Yeah, you know, it's and that happens, you know, again, this is Evan Cluxton. It's his first series. He didn't play in the first series for the Cyclones, so first time we've seen him all year. And, you know, in talking with him, not sure if he pitched as much as he would have liked to in the off season, so this is really his spring training right now, you might want to call it.
Spring training, and now he's in the regular season.
Yep. And
not
so
in regular season form yet.
It's almost like a rehab start, maybe, if you will, type of thing for Evan Cluxton. He just needs to throw some pitches, get dialed in here, and be the effective pitcher that we know that he is in this league. Full count to Cole Blevins. And Blevins goes around for strike 3. So Evan Cluxton has now sat down Cole Blevins 2 times here tonight via the strikeout. 1 away here in the top of the second. Jordan Rice stepping up to the plate. Rice also had a bit of a shaky start to start this ball game, walking in 2 runs in the bottom of the first, but he really dialed in towards the end of that inning.
And he stayed away from the long ball, which will hurt you.
He did.
Lots of traffic.
He did stay away from the long ball. He really has that knuckleball working for him tonight, so I'm sure we'll be seeing that more coming up. Popped up into the air, and Evan Cluxton is underneath it and makes the grab for out number 2, so 2 away. Up steps Barrett Carlo. Carlo with a grand slam in his last at-bat. Really blew this thing wide open for the Stingers in the top of the first. Carlo has been on an absolute tear this season so far, starting off in 2024. Fouls that one off. 2-1. And that's just high for ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike to Carlo. Runner on first, 2 away. Outside ball 4 as Carlo walks. So Peter McNeil is now going to get an opportunity here with a couple of runners on base. McNeil, solo shot in his last at-bat to start this top of the second off.
Yeah, Evan needs to bear down and at least keep this game competitive. We don't want to let it get too far out of balance here.
He's just really having ball's not going where he wants it to go right now. And normally, one of the things that makes Evan Clugston so good is just his command and how nasty his pitches are and how much movement they have. Like that one right there. Slider looked great. 2-1. And that's low for ball 3. So 3-1 now to Peter McNeil. Outside ball 4. Is it full? Oh, my bad. Full count. I missed one. Full count. Full count here to Peter McNeil. Runners on first and second, 2 away in the top of the second. Stingers trying to add on to this 5-run lead. Outside ball 4. Bases are now loaded for the Stingers.
It looks like Evan's trying to do a little bit too much as opposed to just fill up the zone and just let your defense help you out. But
Yep, he's trying. I mean, normally he's so effective with all of his pitches, but just tonight, not really anything. Not really anything's working for him. And he's trying to dial in. I can tell, but just not having the normal success that he normally has. 3-0 here to Tenzar. Way outside for ball 4. 4-pitch walk to Tenzar, and that'll walk in another run for the Stingers. They now lead it 8-2 in the top of the second. And yeah, if you're the Stingers, I mean, you're sitting here and you're thinking, hey, this is a great game to face Evan Clugston in. It's his first game that he's played in 2024. He's struggling out there. We got a 6-run lead. And, what more could you ask? The Stingers, they've already swept aside the Wolfpack to start the season at 3-0, and now looking here at a game where they really have a commanding 6-run lead, especially if Evan Clugston's going to continue to pitch like this. And so they're now looking at a potential 4-0 start here to the season as Clugston, 4-pitch walk there to Cole Blevins. It's now 9-2 Stingers. I mean, Stingers are really rolling right now.
Yep.
Back to the top of the order with Jordan Rice. Bases are loaded, and Evan Clugston is just trying to do anything he can to get this final out so that the Cyclones can go hit and try to get some runs back.
Jeremy Langston just showed up from work, so maybe that's the spark they need to get a little more energy.
There we go.
Cyclones look pretty asleep out there.
Yeah, I mean, as a fielder, there really hasn't been many balls put in play here tonight. There's been a lot of walks. Rice is looking at a 3-0 count, and Rice gives Evan Clugston a courtesy swing there, so it's now 3-1. Swings way outside, full count, not a
couple
Rice.
Of charity strikes here to help another pitcher that's struggling.
Yeah. Ground ball over to Jackson Carr at first. This should end the inning, and the call on the field is out. So Jordan Rice called out at first. But the Stingers, they add on some runs, and they now lead it 9-2 as we go to the bottom of the second inning.
Doesn't move all the way, but it doesn't hurt.
Jeremy Langsted, who was late to this ball game, has finally gotten here, and he is put right in there. Facing Jordan Rice. Ripped up the middle. Drew Tenzar fields it cleanly, throws on over to Carlo at first, and it gets underneath Carlo's hands. So Jeremy Langsted will reach over there at first. It's the Cyclones
hustling down the line without stretching.
Yeah, hey, yeah,
you know?
you gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. Could pull a hammy out here. You know, you know too well about that.
Exactly.
Tom.
Yeah, maybe this is just what they needed. Jeremy comes in, hits a nice shot up the middle, legs it out. So we'll see if this helps the Cyclones kind of refocus.
By no means is this ball game over. I mean, Jordan Rice did have a shaky start to start this ball game off, but he did dial in the first, so we'll see if he can continue to remain dialed in and shut this thing down for the Stingers.
Cyclones need base runners, so I don't know. I'd be pretty selective up there if you're trying to get on base.
Knuckleball outside. So Evan Clugston walks. Runners on first and second. Now for the Cyclones. And yeah, I mean, you know,
Alex is up. Very dangerous hitter right here.
Yep. He's been extremely hot.
Probably one of the hottest hitters in the league right now. So
absolutely.
We'll see.
4 home runs in the last series to start the year off. Looks at a strike there from Rice, and Rice fires that one in there for strike 2. Swing and a miss, and Alex Ballard strikes out on 3 pitches. It's the second time tonight he's done that. So a little bit of a different start here for Alex Ballard in this series. He was so effective in the last one, but off to a slow start here in this series against the Stingers as Zane Phillips looks at a strike there from Rice. Phillips does not go around. Ball 1-1-1.
Looks like Jordan's getting a little groove here. He's throwing lots of pitches.
Yep.
And
he did not go around, says Jason Morehouse, our field ump out there. So 2-2 is the count. Inside, ball 3, full count to Zane Phillips. And that's ripped out to right. It's got a chance, and it's out of here. Zane Phillips, a 3-run home run. That's a wall scraper out there at right, just barely gets over the fence, but counts the same nonetheless as the Cyclones get 3 runs back. It's now 9-5. Stingers lead here in the bottom of the second.
Just like that, they're back in it. I mean, looks like that fence is way too high right there.
Zane Phillips goes short porch, and that's the second home run we've seen, or the third home run we've seen this evening. 2 of those 3 home runs went to the opposite field. One of them was by Peter McNeil, and now this one by Zane Phillips. Jackson Carr to the plate. So that's high.
Still only 1 out, so they can reset.
Yeah, definitely an opportunity here for the Cyclones. Down only 4 runs here in the bottom of the second as Carr walks there. So Jackson Carr on now for the Cyclones, and we're gonna see who's coming up here. Jeremy Langsted,
Jeremy.
That's right. Jeremy Langsted coming up to the
Looks
plate.
like he's just needed a snack, little refuel.
He was taking his sweet time there. Looks at ball 1. Goes around for strike 1. 1-1 here to Langsted. Inside. So after starting the ball game off down 6-0, the Cyclones have been able to string some runs together in these last 2 innings and find themselves only down 4 runs. Continuing to try to threaten here. In there, strike 3. Oh, it was 61 miles per hour on the gun, so that'll be a speed check, no pitch. So Jeremy Langsted's going to get a new life. Rice wishes he had that one back. Unfortunately, just 1 mile per hour
It's a 2-2
above the speed limit. Yeah, 2-2. Nicks the bottom part of the zone. Strike 3. Sits down Jeremy Langstead.
Wow, that was the best pitch of the day for him.
Just nicked the bottom part of the zone. Rice going back to the knuckleball, and it's an effective one. Now facing Evan Clugston. Clugston fouls off the first pitch. And goes around there for strike 2. 0-2. Inside. 1-2 now to Clugston. Hits the zone, strike 3, and Jordan Rice able to sit down Evan Clugston for the final out. Few runs score for the Cyclones on a Zane Phillips 3-run shot. Stingers lead at 9-5 as we go to the top of the 3rd here in game 1. Barrett Carlo looks at ball 1, 1-0. And that hits the bottom part of the zone for strike 1. Carlo took Clugston deep in the, that's a half swing, ground ball right back to Evan Clugston, and he flips on over to first to get the first out. And so that's exactly what this Cyclones team needed. It's been a difficult thing for them so far here tonight, getting that first out. 1 away. Definitely has not been Evan Clugston's best game, that's for sure. Been his first game so far in 2024, and we've seen some of the issues. Definitely doesn't seem super comfortable up there right now. So, as we've mentioned, really trying to use this game kind of as his spring training, you could say. He just didn't throw as much in the offseason as he would have liked as Peter McNeil walks. Runner on first for Drew Tenzar. That just misses low for ball 1. And hits Tenzar on the shoulder for ball 2. 2-0.
Helped him out there.
Swing and a miss. 2-1. Big swing and a miss there for 2-2. 2-2 here to Tenzar. Stingers holding on to a 4-run lead here in the top of the 3rd, trying to add on some insurance runs. Cyclones have been stringing together a couple of good innings on offense. They scored 2 runs in the first and 3 runs last inning, so by no means is this game out of reach for them. Swing and a miss by Drew Tenzar for strike 3. Now 2 away in the top of the 3rd. And this inning going far better for Evan Clugston than the first 2 did. Low there to Cole Blevins. Big swing and a miss. That was a nasty slider there from Clugston. And Blevins fouls that one off. Strike 2. 1-2 here to Cole Blevins. hits the inside part of the zone. Strike 3. He froze Cole Blevins for out number 3.
Drew, that's
no
out.
run score for the Stingers here in the top of the third. They lead it 9-5 as we go to the bottom of the third here in game 1.
I went on the other side of the pad. Thank you. Is it Evan? Is Evan up? I have no idea. We don't have that. Try to get past 3 pitches. Whoa.
I don't want to live with anybody that I
don't want to live with anybody. Oh, I know, yeah. I would rather, like, if I own like an investment property, obviously, but like, I mean, I'm just saying, like, in my own home, I want to stuff. Those are fun, but then the mirrors are so cool.
Alex Ballard up to the plate here in the bottom of the third. Looks at strike 3, and it's been a tough series. So tough game 1 so far for Alex Ballard. It's his 3rd strikeout here in this game, and I mean, after such an effective series.
Yeah, there's no carryover sometimes in baseball.
Yeah, and it's just he's really struggling here against Jordan Rice, and thought maybe he'd bring over that power that he had in that first series where he had 4 home runs, but he just hasn't been able to do that so far here tonight.
Yeah, they need base runners now, that's for sure.
Yep, down to their final 2 outs, down 4 runs. Zane Phillips, who had a 3-run shot in his last at-bat, was a wall scraper out to right, just went over the fence. And Phillips looks at ball 3. 3-0, now the count. Does well to hold off there for ball 4, so Zane Phillips gets on. That is exactly what this Cyclones team needed. Just need base runners. Jackson Carr is going to step up here. First pitch here to Carr is in there for strike 1, 0-1. Ground ball over to first, it's fair.
Ball.
Barrett Carlo fields it cleanly and steps on first for out number 2. 2 away in the bottom of the third, and the Cyclones now find themselves down to their final out. Jeremy Lankstead will step up to the plate.
Yeah, it's tough for the lefties. If you get a ground ball in this league, you're out, usually.
Yeah.
If you pull it. Righties, that's a base hit.
I hear a lot of people in the league, they tend to then say, oh, lefties are so lucky because they have the short porch out there and right. But realistically, I mean, it can be harder for lefties in this league because, like you said, if you hit ground balls, you know, if you roll over, you could say generally you're pulling it over there to first.
Right. And
it's just an easy out or it's an easy play for the first baseman to make, as we saw right there with Barrett Carlo.
Yeah, that same ball down the third baseline, you got to really come up quick, throwing hard.
Yeah.
And most guys can run pretty well, so it's...
Ground ball over to Peter McNeil at third. He throws on over to first, and it's in time to get Jeremy Lankstead. So the Southern Stingers, they take game number 1, final score of 9-5, and they improve their record to 4-0. They remain unbeaten here in 2024 so far. So we are now going to get game number 2 started here shortly. We will be back with everybody for the start of game 2.
Jackson, what's your record? 1-3. 1-3? How do you get 1? No, I thought you were 2. No, didn't you win 2? No, we lost that like in a walk-off. We threw it away. Oh, you're right. Sorry. You just wanted me to say that. Evan, you want to go again?
I will decide after this match.
Well, I can't score like that. You gotta sit there.
Yeah, I'll run it.
Jeremy. You're playing first. Were you batting? Let's go, me. This thing hasn't slid yet? I don't see a slider. Okay, it'll pop up randomly. Keep it down. It'll be like an arrow. Dad, I remember in the check. Yeah. Then we sort of dialed into. Alright, you don't need to pump it up. Yeah. Me first, man.
Peter McNeil is going to be the starting pitcher here in game number 2 for the Southern Stingers. This is the first time we've seen Peter McNeil in the 2024 season. Was not at the first series for this Stinger squad. And McNeil, normally one of the best pitchers in the league. He had an interesting situation last year where he had an ERA. He had a sub-2, or I think it was a sub-2 ERA, but his record, I believe it was like 1-6 or 2-6 or something.
You gotta
and
hate
so
that.
he just
No run support.
Yeah, just wasn't getting run support, and
right.
he had a lot of games where he'd be pitching very well, and he'd only give up maybe 1 or 2 runs and would lose the ball game. But I mean, it's, you know, Peter McNeil, as we all know, normally a very effective pitcher in this league. He has that riser that he loves to throw right there, as you'll see as he throws a strike there to Alex Ballard, and he also loves going in that curveball, which is so effective for him. Curveball right there gets Alex Ballard to go around. Strike 2, a ball and 2 strikes to Ballard. And the drop is low there.
Looks like Peter's got it kind of working today already, just early.
Oh, that curveball looks so good, just barely.
Alex was praying that was out of the zone there.
The inside top part of the zone. Ballard got lucky there, full count. And that hits
extra.
Ballard for ball 4. So Alex Ballard gets on here for the Cyclones in the top of the first.
Wonder if Peter's fully recovered from that knee injury that he had. Looks,
you know,
still wearing the brace, so he's still
yeah,
thinking about it.
You know, so. I think whenever your knee gets dislocated, I mean, it can heal, but I don't think it ever becomes 100% ever again. Yeah. You know, it's a freak injury, and believe it or not, something that I think a lot of people may not know is that when Peter did that in the league, when he dislocated his knee, that was actually the second time he'd done that. As that's ripped into left center by Zane Phillips, it gets into the gap. Alex Ballard holds up at third, and would have been a nice play there by Jordan Rice. He faked the throw to second and turned right around to see if Alex Ballard was going to run home. He didn't. He held up at third, but that'll be a double for Zane Phillips. So runners on second and third for Jackson Carr. Phillips.
Zane's having a quiet, really good game here.
Yeah, he's been hot so far in this series. As a 3-run home run last game, and now starts this game off with a double.
He just goes about his business, doesn't say a whole lot, doesn't make a lot of noise, but he's just pretty focused and doing well right now.
And Zane Phillips, had Drew Gradwell not had the season that he had last season, Phillips likely would have been the league favorite to be Rookie of the Year last season. As that's popped up in the air, Jordan Rice able to make the grab for out number 2. So 2 away in the top of the first. But as we were saying, you know, Zane Phillips, had an amazing rookie campaign last year, and if it weren't for Drew Gradwell and the campaign that Gradwell had, Zane Phillips more than likely would have been the favorite to win the Rookie of the Year back in 2023. So Zane Phillips so far off to a great sophomore season here in the league. And that nicked the bottom part of the zone for strike one, 0-1 to Jeremy Langstad. He didn't like that call, but nonetheless, it hit the zone. That's ripped into center. It's past Tenzar. Alex Ballard comes in to score easily, and Zane Phillips comes in as well. So a 2 RBI single for Jeremy Langstad. And the Cyclones now out to an early 2-0 lead here in the top of the first.
Yeah, Jeremy providing a little bit of spark for the Cyclones. They look a little sleepy, but he's done pretty well for himself today.
Langstad has always been a good hitter in this league. You know, as much as we like to mess around and clown on him and everything, he's a very, very good hitter. And he has performed very well in this league. Also has a World Series under his belt. So he's gone all the way to the top of the mountain in this league.
It looks like there was going to be a pretty easy inning for Peter, but he's kind of struggling now.
Yeah, Peter McNeil,
he
was really dialed in to start the game. You know, again, this is his first game pitching in 2024. But the Cyclones have strung together some really good at-bats. Alex Ballard up to the plate as he fouls that one off. Strike one. And that's high.
Riser just high.
Ball one. 1-1. Behind him for ball 2. And so, yeah, it's been a little shakier here for Peter the last few at bats. And that's inside for a strike, 2-2.
Ooh, drop ball was in the dirt.
Full count to Alex Ballard. Runners on first and second, 2 away here in the top of the first. Popped up into the air. Cole Blevins is underneath it, and he makes the grab for out number 3. But the Cyclones come out to an early 2-0 lead thanks to a 2 RBI single from Jeremy Langstad. We go to the bottom of the first here in game number 2.
Great song, Jordan. I know, right? It's the best walk-up song, huh? Yeah. I use it too. I know, that's why I said it. Yeah. You know how it is, especially in the league, you've got song, you know? So try to hang with them.
Jordan Rice up for the Stingers as he goes around for strike 1. And Evan Cluxton, he's going to be pitching here in this game number 2. Normally would not be a surprise as Cluxton is arguably the best pitcher in this league as he strikes out Jordan Rice on 3 pitches there for out number 1 here in the bottom of the first.
And peeking at the speed, trying to get a lifeline.
And
that was a swing.
Evan Cluxton, he really struggled in game number 1. That was the first game he's pitched in 2024, as many of you know. He's going to be starting here in this game 2. We'll see if he can really dial in this game 2. It's a whole new ball game, whole new opportunity for him, and he looks good so far, striking out Jordan Rice on 3 pitches. Hit Barrett Carlo before it hit the zone, so that'll be a ball. And that's outside for ball 2. 2-0, now to Carlo. Inside.
Yeah, just when you think that Evans figured it out, looks like he's struggling again.
It's fouled back, and yeah, I mean, I think it just might be, you know, one of those things where the pitches just aren't breaking exactly how he wants it, and it just feels a little funky up there right now for him as he hits the zone there. 3-2. No, it hit his shoulder and then hit the zone. Yeah.
What's this red line?
I thought that was the case too.
Full count to Carlo, and Carlo goes around for strike 3. So Evan Clugston to start this game number 2. He's retired the first 2 batters he's faced. You know, I think that so generally most players in the league, they generally choose a really, you know, a walk-up song that they just really like, they really enjoy, and clearly for Peter, the song that he chose is Fruit Salad. I don't remember who sings that song, but that's gonna be something to get used to here this season. The Wiggles, that's what it is. The Wiggles, Fruit Salad by the Wiggles.
Of course.
So, you know, it's an interesting choice. It's an interesting choice, but you know, Peter McNeely's already homered here so far this evening, so clearly it's working for him.
I didn't think there'd be as much crossover as there was back here.
Nobody on, 2 outs. Pitch from Clugston, and McNeil does well to foul that one off there.
I hear a little bit of that.
Hits the zone, strike 3, and Peter McNeil strikes out for the final out here in the bottom of the first. No run score for the Stingers. The Cyclones, they lead at 2-0 as we go to the top of the second. Zane Phillips, the plate for the Cyclones. Phillips had a double his first at-bat of the ball game. Also has a 3-run home run here tonight. He had that back in game 1. Big swing and a miss there from Zane Phillips. 1-1 is the count. Hits him for ball 2, 2-1. Ripped over to Jordan Rice. It gets underneath him. Phillips is rounding first. He's going to hold up there. And unfortunate there by Jordan Rice. Just got underneath him. Could have been extra bases for Zane Phillips, but Drew Tenzar did well backing Jordan up out there. Able to get the ball in quickly. So Phillips held to a single. Runner on first here for Jackson Carr. Big swing and a miss for strike 1. Ground ball, and that does not get past the bunt line out there. There's a white line in front of home plate, as many of you know.
Looks like we
if it
need to
doesn't
get
past
the
that, it is considered
field
a
guy
foul
out
ball.
there.
Yep.
Paint that line again.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna need some new lines, I think, out here. You can faintly see it, faintly. 1-2 here to Jackson Carr. Popped up into the air. Drew Tenzar coming on. He makes the grab for out number 1, and Zane Phillips is off the base there. I thought maybe Tenzar might try to
right. Little
throw
trickery
it and
there.
tag him
Had
out.
an opportunity.
Phillips was trying to maybe bait him to throwing at him. Jeremy Langstead up to the plate now. Curveball hits the zone for a strike. And that is popped up into the air, and Cole Blevins makes the grab for out number 2. So 2 away. On the
Cole
top
being
of the second.
solid in the fielding.
Yep.
3 chances.
Yeah, Cole has had in his time in this league a very high fielding percentage over there at first. And he's been the starting first baseman for this Stingers team since their inception, since the first year of the AWA. Cole Blevins has been here. Evan Cluxton goes around for strike 1. Ground ball is off of Clugston's foot for a foul ball, so 0-2. And Clugston tried to play that off there. You know, hey, I didn't have a good angle on it, so he tried to do what he could to try to get a single out of that,
right.
But good effort. 0-2. Swing and a miss. What a curveball there from Peter McNeil. Unbelievable. And that'll be out number 3. So no run score for the Cyclones here in the top of the second. They lead it 2-0. Let's go to the bottom of 2. Drew Tenzar up for the Stingers here in the bottom of the second as he looks at ball 1 way outside. And that's outside as well. 2-0. Riser hits. 2-1. Hits the zone for strike 2. Oh, 61, no pitch. Oh, it's now gonna. Count will remain 2-1. Tenzar goes around there. Strike 2, 2-2. Slider hits the zone, strike 3. Drew Tenzar strikes out. Start this bottom of the second, and the storyline has been Evan Cluxton really struggled in game number 1 of this series. It was his first game pitching in 2024, but so far here in game 2, he's been very effective. And he's now looking like the Evan Cluxton of old, the Cy Young Evan Cluxton that we've been waiting to see here tonight. Really looks like his command is coming back, and we saw that
he
there.
Just needed a couple innings to get his groove back, and now he's starting to feel it.
Swing and a miss, 1-1. Another swing and a miss from Cole Blevins, and the count is now 1-2. Inside.
Some of these balls are scuffed differently.
I know,
and the pitchers, they know which ones they like.
That's the hardest thing about these wiffle balls.
A lot of the balls all do something different, but if you can figure out the one that you really like to throw and just get that one every time, you can really dial it in.
And that's something that we don't talk about a whole lot in this league, is that so all the balls, you know, the way that we work with the balls is we do scuff them up, we scratch them a little bit, and it tends to give the ball some extra movement.
Right.
But the balls are all scuffed up in a different type of way.
Right.
So you could have a certain grip and hold one wiffle ball and throw it, you know, the exact same as another one, and they might do two different things.
Exactly.
So it's just it's difficult, and that's why a lot of, you know, pitchers tend to struggle as well. Is they'll throw a really good pitch with one ball, but they may not. They'll throw the exact same pitch with another, and it might do something different.
Right.
So
yeah, you wonder if you could scratch them and have some consistency, like they do in the major leagues with that mud from wherever, Delaware or something, you know, that mud that they put on it. But like get like a sandpaper of a certain grit and just make it uniform.
Yeah, and
that would make it
and that
easier
should
to
be
throw
something
strikes.
that we look into a little bit more, because that definitely is an issue that we run into.
Right.
And I can attest to that, being a pitcher in this league, and not being the most effective pitcher, but you know, it can be tough sometimes. It can be tough sometimes for some pitchers. 3-0 here to Jordan Rice. That's high and outside for ball 4. So runners on first and second now for the Stingers, one away. Barrett Carlo stepping up to the plate, and Carlo has had such a good 2024 so far this season. Had a great 2023 season as well. Had one of the highest batting averages in the league last year.
Wow.
It's the zone, and that's a great pitch there from Clugston.
I think he had some work thing today after, but he had a good day.
Inside, 2-1. That's fouled off for strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Barrett Carlo. Runners on first and second. Stingers looking for their first run of the ball game as Carlo hits that one foul, and Zane Phillips thought he might have an opportunity over there in foul territory to grab that one. It just gets by him.
I gotta do something here.
2-2 on the way, and that hits Carlo's shoulder. Ball 3, full count. Fouled off, and the count will remain full here to Carlo. Full count to Carlo, and he goes around for strike 3. So Evan Clugston getting Carlo to chase there. It's out number 2. Peter McNeil is going to step in, and whenever you can strike out Barrett Carlo, that's a great thing. As we mentioned, one of the higher batting averages in the league, definitely a tough out. Peter McNeil steps in. Swing and a miss there by McNeil for strike 1. 0-1 the count. Big swing and a miss there by McNeil, and it's now 0-2. And, you know, Peter McNeil, as we mentioned last season, just didn't get much run support in his starts, and so far here tonight hasn't gotten a run yet. And see if he can help himself out. Outside for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That hits him on the back for ball 3. Full count now to McNeil. Tying run is on at first. McNeil represents the go-ahead run here in the bottom of the second. Hits him on the back for ball 4. So the bases are now loaded for Drew Tenzar. Opportunity for the Stingers here, as it's been quiet so far for them here in game number 2 offensively.
Not missing by much. There he goes.
That
Made
hits
an
the
adjustment.
zone. 1-1.
On the hands.
Right on the hands.
That's tough. 2 pitches outside and then just running up on his hands.
Yep.
It's kind of what.
Difficult. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Down goes Drew. 62. So Tenzar going to get another opportunity here. So that was too fast. Speed check. So 1-2 remains the count. New life for Tenzar. Popped up into the air, into center, and nice. Alex Ballard makes the grab for out number 3. No run score for the Stingers in the bottom of the 2nd inning. We go to the top of the 3rd. Cyclones lead it 2-0.
It could be like just a touch higher than the one on the right. Like right above that, like where that lens was. Yeah, I'd say like right on that knuckle. Oh yeah, that'd be good. Little target, really sticky.
Alex Ballard to the plate. Ground ball gets past McNeil. Nobody was there. It was in no man's land, and Alex Ballard beats that out for an infield single.
Yeah, ground ball, first base. Usually that's an out, but just didn't found a hole there.
Yeah, it was in no man's land as Tenzar was playing all the way over there in left center. Seemed to be a weird spot to play given a lefty was up, but I think Tenzar just maybe forgot to shift, and so Alex Ballard has himself a single to start this inning off. 2-0 here to Zane Phillips. Phillips really has been the offense so far here tonight for the Cyclones. Be huge if they could add on a couple of runs here in the top of the 3rd. Holding on to a 2-run lead, and by no means is that safe here in the AWA. And that is going to be a foul ball there by Zane Phillips. Would have been a ground rule double most likely had it been fair. 2-2 the count. Pitch here to Phillips. Ground ball right back to Peter McNeil. He bobbles it a little bit and able to flip on over to Cole Blevins at first.
Nice play to stay with it.
1.
Putting a lot of stress on that right knee, though.
Yeah,
Woo.
yeah.
Looks like he's...
The good news is that, you know, it did happen a few years ago for McNeil, so he has had a lot of time to recover. It was the 2nd time that he has dislocated that knee, so he was familiar with the injury, but still not something that feels good. I will say that.
It's always on the back of your mind whenever you're making a play like that.
That's inside for a ball. 1-1 here to Jackson Carr. Just high. 2-1. Ground ball fouled off down the first base side. 2-2 is the count to Carr. Alex Ballard on there over at 2nd in scoring position. Swing and a miss. Great curve ball there by McNeil. Gets Carr to chase for out number 2. 2 away in the top of the 3rd. McNeil trying to do all he can so that the Stingers can get up there at the bottom of the 3rd and try to come back from this 2-run deficit that they're facing. He's going to have to get past Jeremy Lankstead, though, before that happens. Lankstead steps in. That's inside for ball 1. Inside for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes now to Langsted. Curveball hits Langsted, and Langsted throws the bat at McNeil. I don't know what's going on, and he throws a wiffle ball at McNeil. What is going on? Jeremy Langsted is not happy, and you don't like to see this, as McNeil and Langsted are having some words with each other. McNeil almost slips over the bat there, and they're still going at it. Jason Morehouse, the umpire, is in between them trying to break them up, and now Jordan Rice is getting in there. I don't know what's going on, and Morehouse is having to hold back Rice after he just held back McNeil, and he's continuing, and he's pushing Langsted back, and Langsted is just trying, and now he throws Morehouse's hat off, and now he gets called out. He's ejected out of the game. I don't know what just happened with Jeremy Langsted right there, but Peter McNeil did something that he did not like. He charged the mound through his bat, and then Rice got in there as well, and now he's throwing wiffle balls at Peter McNeil. This is just not good. Langsted is just not happy. I don't know exactly what happened, but he took Jason Morehouse, our umpire's hat off, and threw it on the ground, which was an automatic ejection. He got ejected from the ball game. And yeah, as you all know, that is a joke. So Jeremy Langsted will be up to the plate. We're just using that as a little skit that we're doing. Alex Ballard out there on second truly thought it was real. He's like, wait, that was a skit? He was shocked out there. So anyways, Jeremy Langsted still up to the plate. 3-1 is the count. That is ripped out to center, and it gets out of here for a 2-run shot. Jeremy Langsted goes deep after he charged the mound. Wow, Jeremy Langsted gives some insurance runs to this Cyclones squad, and they now lead it 4-0 here in the top of the third. Unbelievable. Jeremy Langsted takes Peter McNeil out to center field for a 2-run shot. Evan Clugston out of the plate. Cyclones trying to do everything they can to try to tie this series at a game apiece. Curveball misses there to Clugston. 2-0 is the count. Swing and a miss there. 2-1. Ground ball over to Jordan Rice at third. He fields it cleanly, throws on over to Cole, and he can't make the grab. Even if Cole Blevins would have made that grab, it probably would have been a really close play. Wasn't able to hold on, and Evan Clugston is going to reach on an error. That's the call from the guy doing the stats down there. Alex Ballard stepping up to the plate. Runner on first as the Cyclones just want to continue to add on to this 4-run lead. 1-0. It's in there for a strike. 1-1. Lone inside for ball 2. 2-1. Popped up into the air. Cole Blevins is right underneath it, and he makes the grab for out number 3. But the Cyclones, they add on 2 runs to their lead. A 2-run shot by Jeremy Langsted puts them up 4-0 as we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning here in game 2.
Oh, okay, so you're probably something different now, right? Who are you talking to? Shane.
Cole Blevins starts it off here in the bottom of the third inning. Stingers are down 4 runs. Blevins swinging a miss there. And it's definitely been a more effective game here for Evan Cluxton. More of a normal game, you could say, for him, as he's allowed no runs in the second game after giving up 9 in game number 1. That's low there to Blevins, 2-2. Outside ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Cole Blevins. Outside for ball 4. So Cole Blevins walks, and the Stingers, that's exactly what they need. They need base runners.
Hey, I hate you, Brock. Wow. Fuck you, Mark. I'm just getting hated on right now. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I did to you guys. Charge the booth, Morehouse. I'm not gonna lie, I've been loving the TikTok with you, Morehouse. It's been great. Did a quick backflip. Started it like 2 years ago. What did I do? Because you can't. Well, I struck you out. I look at that more as like the Anthony Rizzo, Freddie Freeman showdown a couple of years ago. That's how I look at it.
Hits the top part of the zone. 2-2 is the count to Jordan Rice.
To some people, yeah. I don't think that's the gay. I don't think that's an off-level, is it? No, it's like 22.
Inside for ball 4, so Jordan Rice walks, and that's back-to-back walks for the Stingers in the bottom of the third. So Evan Cluxton looking shaky here, trying to shut this thing down. Cyclones lead 4-0. Ground ball to Evan Cluxton. He throws over to second, and Jordan Rice is safe. Ballard could not get there in time. And so everybody is safe. The bases are loaded, and that now brings up the tying run to the plate in Peter McNeil. And McNeil, he has already hit a home run here tonight. He had a solo shot in game number 1. Opportunity, big opportunity here for the Stingers. Ball 1 outside to McNeil. Ball 2 outside to McNeil, 2-0. Slider is just high, 3 balls, no strikes. Iser gets McNeil to go around. And this would be it's a huge spot here for Peter McNeil. McNeil, he's thrown pretty decently here tonight, but hasn't gotten any run support from his squad, trying to string something together here. That's high for ball 4, and that's going to walk in the first run for the Stingers here in game number 2. And Evan Cluxton, who's been so effective so far here in game 2, is struggling a little bit here to shut down the game here in inning number 3 as that hits for strike 1. 0-1 here to Tenzar. Nicks the outside part of the zone for strike 2, 0-2. Tenzar does not go around. Ball 1. Inside for ball 2, so 2-2 now the count to Tenzar. way outside for ball 3. Full count to Tenzar. Bases are loaded. Nobody out. The tying run is on at first. Tenzar represents the winning run. Outside ball 4. Tenzar draws a walk, and that'll walk in another run for the Stingers, cutting this Cyclones lead in half to just 2 runs. Cole Blevins to the plate. Hits the zone for strike 1. Inside ball 1. 1-1 to Blevins. High and outside. Low and inside. 3-1 to Blevins. Clugston trying to do anything he can here to get his first out. He's struggled in some innings so far here in the series. Blevins goes around there. Full count to Cole Blevins. Tying run on at second. Winning run on at first. Bases loaded, nobody out. The pitch to Cole Blevins. Hits the top part of the zone. Strike 3. Evan Clugston freezes Cole Blevins for out number 1. 1 away. And now to the top of the order with Jordan Rice.
Jack Blayhouse tuning in here. Evan Clugston had a no-hitter going up until that Barrett Carlo bloop.
Unbelievable. Hits the zone. Strike 1 here to Rice. Ground ball right back to Evan Clugston. He throws home and gets the out on Carlo, so there's now 2 away here in the bottom of the 3rd.
That ball looked like it almost was going to hit us.
Yeah, I know. That was rising a little bit there. Bases are loaded, 2 outs. Tying run is still on second. Winning run on first. Barrett Carlo to the plate. And we know how tough of an out he has been so far here in 2024. 61, so no pitch. Count stays 0-0 here to Carlo. That nicks the bottom part of the zone for strike 1. 0-1. Fouled off. 0-2 to Carlo. Stingers now down to their final strike. Hits Carlo in the inner groin. That never feels good. Yeah. 1-2. Pitch from Clugston, and that's ripped over to Jackson Carr. He tags out Jordan Rice. The call on the field is out, and so we're going to replay this. If the call stands, this will end the game. So we're going to watch that back again. And the call on the field is confirmed. Jordan Rice is tagged out, and the Cyclones, they hold on to win this game 4-2. The series is now tied a game apiece, and so we're going to go to the rubber match in game number 3. Winner of this game will take the series. It's been an incredible series so far here against the Stingers and the Cyclones, and we're excited for this game number 3 about to start shortly. We will be back with everybody momentarily.
Me. Brock Blayhouse.
Evan.
Evan
Clugston.
Best wiffle ball player at the AWA today. Got to go Dominic DeMiro.
I'm going DJ.
Jake Oliver.
Trey Clarkson.
I'll go Schofield. I'm gonna have to go Chance Justice.
Evan.
Me.
I go with old Clugston.
Chance Justice.
I gotta go Drew Gradwell.
Jake Oliver.
Me.
Gotta go Keen McKay.
Grant Newman. Yeah, we'll go.
God damn it.
Say Grant Newman.
Aaron Schofield.
Had a down year last year, so. Oh, Brock.
Yeah.
No way, my arm is exposed.
Well, at least Brock. Damn, Jackson. Evan Jackson, Zane, Alex Young. You got your beer? Yeah. Peter? Oh, yeah. Larry, how old are you? Alright, you guys ready? Alright, Cyclones in the field. By the way, there's a cool pie out in the side. Jordan.
And here we go. Getting ready to start game number 3. Rubber match.
One opportunity.
Wonder how this Stingers team will fare after losing their first game of the year.
Alex Ballard going to be on the mound here in top of the first. Starts Jordan Rice off with ball 1. 1-0. And, you know, I don't really know what's going on this season. Zane Phillips, generally the number 2 pitcher for this Cyclones team. I don't know if he has an injury or what's going on, but Alex Ballard has really been the number 2 guy so far in the 2024 season for this Cyclone squad, where Zane Phillips just has only pitched in 1 game so far this year. And Phillips was a pretty good starter last year in his rookie campaign, and I guess maybe Evan Clugston, the Cyclones, just think, hey, you know, we're going to try to give Alex Ballard some reps, and we're going to see how he does.
I mean, it kind of goes to their first game, ride the hot hand. Alex pitched 2 games, and he's got a 3 ERA right now, so very solid here in the AWA, where, as you can tell from the first game, these pitchers are getting roughed up pretty bad.
Yeah, it's been interesting. I feel like there's been a lot of runs scored so far here in some of these games in the AWA, and I think it seems like a lot of pitchers in the league have been having slower starts to the year. Especially last year, I felt like all year long pitchers were just very dominant all season.
Yeah.
And this year, it seems like early in the year, at least, it seems like the hitters are having more of the advantages, and pitchers are taking a while to kind of really settle in here.
Well, it's different every year. You know, these batters are respecting pitchers more and more every year. That's a foul ball, but you know, early on in the year, with I'd say poorer pitchers, you're swinging out of your shoes, but batters are definitely gauging pitchers early on, trying to see if they got their A game.
Offense has definitely been up this year, that's for sure. 2-1 to Carlo, but yeah, I mean, it's, you know, I think a lot of it, what it is it's really a testament to all the players here in the AWA. I mean, I just think a lot of guys here now have a lot of years under their belt, a lot of years of experience, and so everybody's just really accustomed to playing wiffle ball, and just hitting has been hitting the last couple of years had been lower than what we've seen the previous two, but you know, we'll see how it continues this season. We'll see if pitchers can really get dialed in. Last year, that's exactly what happened, so we'll see if that happens again this year. Runners on first and second for Peter McNeil as he steps up to the plate again for fruit salad by the Wiggles.
Peter McNeil hitting 500 on the year in his first series back. Had that home run.
0-1 the count. Swing and a miss by McNeil, 0-2.
Full count.
1-2. Full count here to McNeil. Pitch from Ballard is ground ball right back to him. He flips on over to Langston at first and gets the out on Peter McNeil for out number one away. But the runners, they move up 60 feet or 40 feet.
Yeah.
Runners on second and third for Drew Tenzar.
Yeah, you know, and I don't even think the 40, I think we even pushed it back. It's probably around 45 feet to first. But
45.
It's not an equidistant field, as you can probably guess. So those,
for various reasons.
Yeah. You know, all the best fields have their quirks.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like not equidistant baselines and trees in the outfield, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but hey, you know, something that this field has that nobody else has is, does anybody else have a left field porch like that out there where you can have fans sit up there? Pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Pretty cool. Have we nicknamed that yet?
Club 65.
Club 65. What's the history behind that?
It's just Trevor May's bar, so number 65. And
there we go.
So we'll
Club 65.
The banners. We'll drop a TikTok soon. I think we'll have the real opening when the Mojo play next. That'll be May 15th. Little red ribbon cutting ceremony.
Love that.
But
Club 65.
Look more professional out there with the banners. So.
And are we gonna put like a little maybe drink station up there for all the fans?
Little bar.
Yeah,
little
club. Bar. Little. You know, you can drink various drinks up there. Have a little fun.
It's the only spot in the yard that gets sun, especially in the summer.
I know, yeah.
So it's a good spot to have it.
That's gonna be very popular this summer, that's for sure. Swing and a miss by Cole Blevins. 3-2 is the count. Low to Cole Blevins. He walks. And so Alex Ballard walks in the first run of the ball game. The Stingers lead it 1-0 early here in the top of the first. Peter McNeil will step up to the plate.
Jordan Rice.
Excuse me, Jordan Rice will step up to the plate.
Jordan Rice hitting .250 on the year, not great. He's a career .350 hitter, 24 career home runs to 79 strikeouts. Not a bad ratio.
Inside to Rice for ball 1-0. And that is ripped over to Zane Phillips.
It looked like it was in the air to me. We'll look at the replay.
It looked like it was in the air.
I was just right there.
And so we'll look at that. And Phillips.
Oh. Did it touch the ground there?
That's really hard to tell.
I mean, either way, I left after he caught it. Then you can look at that because I was still in the back.
That's really hard to tell.
So let's see if you tag. Your foot's not on the base there. If we keep this replay going, he doesn't touch the bag there, but
the call on the field was out, and so we'll take a look at it one more time, and we'll see if we can.
Your foot wasn't on the bag, so we're looking.
And so we'll see here.
So he left. He didn't tag, so that's not.
I don't think that. I think based on the replay, it does not look like that hit the ground. So Zane Phillips appears to have caught that ball. Carlo ran home, and because Phillips stepped on third there, that's going to be a double play, and that's going to send us to the bottom of the first inning. So the call on the field will stand. That'll be a double play. The ball did not hit the ground, and so that'll end the inning. And the Stingers, they score one run here in the top of the first, but we go to the bottom of the first. Stingers lead 1-0.
Very close play there, and I mean, if Barrett moved his foot back a step back, it would have been fine. He would have tagged up, but it looked like he reached back and was still a foot off from touching the base there.
Yeah, I mean, it's I can understand why Barrett would have maybe thought that it hit the ground. It was a tough angle also for Barrett. I mean, he was running towards home as he kind of saw that. So
yeah, runner's instinct is ball hit. Looks, you're on third base in a close game. You're sprinting home because I mean that's not an easy pitch or throw to make.
McNeil throws on over to first and gets the out. What a play there by Peter McNeil, getting the out on Evan Clugston. So one away. You're in the bottom of the first.
That was a lot of emotion there from Peter McNeil. You don't see that very often.
No.
Big fist pump.
Except for when he gets angry. Then,
yeah,
then
that's
true.
True.
Then you see some emotion. But, yeah, it's a tough break for the Stingers and Barrett Carlo, because they were in a situation where his bases loaded, one out, and they only got one run out of it.
Yeah.
So it's tough there. And it says Jackson Carr rips that out to left center, and he goes yard for a solo shot. Jackson Carr tying this ball game up just like that. It's now 1-1 here in the bottom of the first.
Jackson Carr, first home run of the 2024 season, 17th career home run. We'll see if that play in the first inning is going to come back and bite the Stingers.
It's difficult, whenever you have runners, you have bases loaded, you want to try to get at least one, but preferably more than one.
Yeah.
And so, especially early in a ball game where you're playing in a game where you're trying to win the series is tied. Cyclones handed the Stingers team their first loss of the 2024 season in game number 2.
And Jordan Rice, he kind of gave him a 3-0 lob. Most batters in the league will swing 3-0 regardless. So if you're going to throw that lob, try not to leave it right over the plate.
2-0 is the count here to Zane Phillips. Way outside, 3-0.
We'll see if Peter McNeil starts to kind of loosen that arm up. I know they were indecisive about who was going to start game 3.
Yeah, and Jordan Rice, I mean, he, although the Stingers did win game number 1, final score 9-5, Rice did struggle in that game a little bit. Had some command issues, but didn't have as many command issues as Evan Clugston did in his first game. So that's how they won that game 1. So that's inside to Alex Ballard, 1-0.
Yeah, Jordan did get the win, but arguably Peter did pitch better.
And, you know, it's just ground ball over to Peter McNeil. He can't field it cleanly, and he would have had an opportunity on Zane Phillips over there at second. Everybody's safe. Runners on first and second. One away here for Jeremy Langstead. Langstead has a home run in the series. Came in game number 2.
Jeremy Langstead, 25 career home runs to 85 strikeouts. A career 359 hitter. So that's popped up out of play.
0-1 here to Langstead.
This might be Jeremy Langstead's final year in the AWA.
Really? That's news to me. Ground ball right back to Jordan Rice. He throws on over to Carlo at first for out number 2. So 2 away. But the runners do move up 45 feet. Runners on second and third here for Evan Clugston. Really? So what's going on?
You're going to have to talk to him.
Okay. All right. I'll talk to him off the air.
There comes a time in he's won a World Series. I mean, what more do you need,
I get it.
He's reached the pinnacle of wiffle ball.
Reached the pinnacle. 2-0 to Evan Clugston. That's a nice pitch there from Rice. Gets Clugston to go around 2-1. He goes around there, so evens the count here at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cyclones gonna try to take the lead. Inside for ball 3, full count. Outside ball 4. Bases are loaded for the Cyclones.
That gas from Jackson didn't seem too excited to hit here.
And who else but Jackson Carr, who hit a solo home run in his last at-bat, getting an opportunity to try to take this lead here in game 3, the rubber match. First pitch from Rice is high.
And both these pitchers have had some issue with the command early in these games, and they start to figure it out over time.
And yeah, it's kind of weird because Jordan Rice and Evan Clugston normally are always on, and so it's just been kind of a weird series so far here tonight. Popped up into the air. Tenzar coming on, and he makes the grab for out number 3. The Cyclones score a run, and they tie this ball game up thanks to a Jackson Carr solo home run. We're tied 1-1 as we go to the top of the second.
Well, pitcher says, "Are we ready?" But there's no first baseman. Oh, there he is. Here's.
Come on, Langstead.
Mr. Langstead's already gotten to 1 fight today.
My goodness. Wow. Did you hear what he just said?
He's attacking you too.
Wow.
Geez, quickly Mark is just becoming the league villain. I don't know how that happened. Brock's just turning everyone against you, taking people side-by-side conversations. Just, hey, how do you feel about Mark?
It was all because I started off making fun of his cargo or his Carhartt pants last year. Didn't like that. I was just surprised. I didn't realize that, he distressed his own jeans. I didn't realize that's a thing.
It's a statement.
All right. Hey, I'm not familiar with the style, I suppose. So.
Hey, maybe he's gonna make some AWA distressed jeans, throw it on the merch shop.
Maybe he'll distress some jeans and he'll play in them when they play the Pilots again.
He was rocking some 80s shorts, some parachute pants yesterday or Monday. So
okay.
Wouldn't put it past him.
Okay, all right.
A little more breathable.
All right. Ball 1 outside here to Peter McNeil. Ball 2 outside.
And Peter McNeil, one of the prolific home run hitters in the league. He's got 52 career home runs.
2 and
Puts
1.
him in top 5. 141 strikeouts a career, 392 hitter.
Do you have the top 5 in home runs in front of you right now? No?
I could pull it up. But for sure one, Thomas Playhouse. I checked it, yeah.
Wow.
Hit 33 home runs in the 2020 season. That is
unreal.
Basically maybe 2.5 seasons these days. 2 is Alex Harden.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
I think they're both in the 70s. Thomas 79. Alex Harden's right around 72.
Alex.
3 is yourself, I believe.
Okay.
I think you're in the 60s. I want to say like 61 or 62.
Love that.
Then Peter McNeil at 4. And I think myself at 5, right below him.
Nice.
I think he's got 52. I think I like 49, but I only hit like one home
Dominic
run.
DeMuro's not in that at all?
No.
Wow. Yeah, or Jake
and Dom are definitely knocking on the door, but it's just that 2020 season, 2021 season where kind of all the batters got the majority of their home runs.
Yeah. It was definitely a different league the first couple of years.
It was back when Babe Ruth played. Thomas Playhouse was the Babe Ruth of the AWA. And I think the difference between Thomas
outside
and
ball
Alex,
4, so 10s are walks. Bases are loaded now for the Stingers.
I think it's a 7 home run differential, but Alex Harden's played in 40 more games than Thomas.
Wow. Wait, so remind me, how do you remember how many Thomas and Alex
Thomas has 79. Alex, I want to say, has 71 or 72.
Okay.
And Thomas has played in 40 less games than Alex Harden.
That's crazy. Jeez.
So
and the reason I'm surprised about that is just because I feel like Thomas Playhouse over the last couple of years, he's kind of had down number years, it seems like. Ground ball right back to Alex Ballard. He throws home and gets the out on Barrett Carlo for out number 1, so 1 away. Great play there from Ballard, keeping this game tied here. 1 apiece. Jordan Rice will step up to the plate.
And I think the biggest thing for Thomas is the mindset going into games on the Wolfpack. You know, they won their first series in 604 days. The addition of Ian Michael kind of turns up the competitiveness. And when we were listening in on Thomas, you know, he popped out the first probably 12 at-bats.
Ground ball right back to Alex Ballard, and he throws home and gets the out on Peter McNeil.
And then Ian Michael said to Thomas, hey, lock in. You got to be a little more serious. And then right after that, he hit 2 home runs. So maybe that's all
there we go. Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, not – what does that mean? No. Hey, what level are you in RuneScape? Okay, you're nice. I'm only 90. I have a skill cape though. Are you okay?
It's a ball outside.
Popped up into the air, and Jeremy Langsted makes the grab for out number 3. No run score for the Stingers here in the top of the second inning. We remain tied 1-1 as we go to the bottom of the second.
That's a strike to Zane Phillips.
0-1. Here in the bottom of the second tie ball game between the Cyclones and the Stingers. Winner of this game, number 3, takes a series. Ground ball to Peter McNeil. Fields it cleanly. Throws over to Carlo at first, and it's low.
Look at this replay.
Yeah, we'll take a look at that. I didn't even see that.
Yeah, we'll see if it hit him. That's no.
It didn't. No.
Did not hit him.
It did not hit him.
Didn't hit him.
Invest in some new cameras.
And here we go. Alex Harden will step in. Little nasty knuckleball right there, misses high. Alex Ballard still second in the league after his absurd Game 1 performance. 4 home runs with batting .778. He's cooled down a little bit, hitting right around 500 now. That's all it takes, though. So that'll be a 4-pitch walk to Alex Ballard. And Jeremy Langstead will now step in.
Yeah, you had to stop distracting me and talking to me.
Jeremy Langstead's had a solid day so far. Home run. He's got 5 RBIs on the year. There you go.
And, one thing about Jeremy Langstead, and I know that, we tend to, we all banter back and forth here, but Jeremy Langstead is a very good hitter in this league, and he has been his whole career. He's a very good hitter, very good wiffle ball player.
He's a tough guy to mic up, though. He does not like being mic'd up. Kneecap.
1-1 here to Evan Clugston. Runners on first and second. And yeah, this is a great important series for Evan Clugston because, like we mentioned, he has not played much wiffle ball since last season. So it's nice to get back out here, get into the groove of things, and the Cyclones team has an opportunity to win this series here. Ball 4, so Evan Clugston will walk. Bases are now loaded for the Cyclones, and who else but Jackson Carr stepping up to the plate.
DHing today. Guess the good thing, I don't know if we're there yet. We might have to turn on the lights on the 3rd inning, but we're getting close to we don't need the lights weather.
Yeah, which is always nice.
Yeah, we drastically need it at the beginning of the season, at the end of the season. But
yeah.
Summer.
That might be one of the best things about living in Washington is in the summer months, it does not get
9
dark
o'clock.
until 9:15. Some even.
It's not Alaska, but it'll do.
Yeah. 0-2 here to Carr. Swing and a miss, and Carr tried to just defend right there, but
that's tough.
Swung so late it didn't matter. 2 away. Here in the bottom of the second.
Now we got Jeremy going over to first. They both didn't want to pinch run.
Zane Phillips steps up. Looks at a knuckleball high for ball 1. Big swing and a miss there from Phillips. 1-1. Huge opportunity for this Cyclones team to take the lead here. That's popped up into the air. It's going to stay in the yard. Tenzar is underneath it, and he makes the grab for out number 3. No run score for the Cyclones in the bottom of the second. We remain tied as we go to the final inning here in the final game of the series.
Peter McNeil will step in. Just a bit low, ball 1. Yeah, it's always tough facing lefties in the league. Just like in baseball, you don't get to see it very often. We have quite a bit of lefty pitchers in the league now. Dominic DeMiro, Alex Hatch, Alex Ballard, Thomas Blahouse if he ever figures it out.
Kanoa Jandok, Jack Scholl, Dylan Carroll.
Yeah, of course, Drew Gradwall.
Drew Gradwall. I mean, the Aces lineup has 3 lefty hitters. It's crazy as a pitcher. And Peter McNeil walks there. So the Stingers get the lead off runner on. And that's the go-ahead run for the Stingers on over there first. Drew Tenzar steps up to the plate. Right back to Alex Ballard on the mound. It hits off of him, and Tenzar is safe over there at first. He's able to beat it out. And so runners on first and second for the Stingers. That brings the go-ahead run into scoring position over there at second. And Cole Blevins to the plate.
No, that was the right call. That's safe. I'm good with
Yeah,
that.
these Cyclones, they just want reviews after every play. That wasn't even close.
If there was some type of question in our minds, I would have said yes, but that was clear.
I mean, this matchup right here will decide who's atop of the leaderboard and who's at the bottom of the leaderboard. If the Stingers win, they're at the top of the leaderboard. And if the Cyclones lose, they're at the bottom. Right there with the Nighthawks.
It's still early. That's a ground ball over to Jeremy Lankstead, and he takes it himself. It's the out on Cole Blevins.
Yeah, if Cole was running a little bit harder there, he might have had a shot there, but Alex Ballard was over there ready to step on first if Jeremy needed to have the throw. This grass is a little bit longer, a little wet, so the ball's not going as fast as it normally does.
I didn't want to say this, but you know, thankfully it hasn't been super rainy in the months that we've played so far this year. Knock on wood, yeah. But you know,
last Monday was probably the rainiest it's been. It was a bit of a drizzle.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking back to last year was
last year was
a record like 80. Oh, there's the ducks and the.
Oh, look at that! There's a bunch of ducks over there.
Zoom in on the first base cam.
Yeah, zoom in over there. All the ducks and the ducklings over there. They're crossing.
We'll
I've
see.
never seen that before here.
We've had quite a bit of.
Were we able to change the camera there?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that!
We've had quite a bit of duck flyovers and goose lately. We saw 2 eagles right before game time.
Unreal.
So don't know what's going on over here.
I've never seen that here. That's crazy.
This is our biggest attendance we've ever had here.
What? Yeah. We got to get them to come back more often.
We got to sell out. I don't know why they're sitting over there. They could sit up in the Club 65.
Yeah, come over to Club 65.
Yeah, it's kind of like the B delay. This is.
Are they going under the fence? Where are they going?
MLB's got the B delay. We got the duck delay.
Yeah, we got the duck delay. We'll leave it up to the fans to determine what's cooler.
Yeah, I think they're long gone now.
In my
they've had enough.
Personal biased opinion, I think the ducklings are a lot cooler than bees, but
yeah,
you know. I think they went underneath the fence, maybe, possibly. Don't have an angle on them. They went behind the tent. All right, back to wiffle ball. Jordan Rice is up to the plate. 0-0 count. Runners on second and third. The go-ahead run is just 45 feet away over there at third base. First pitch here to Rice, and that's high for ball 1.
Ball 1 to Jordan Rice. Jordan staring them down. Oh, they're right there.
Yeah, they're right behind us. Aww. Rice goes around there. 1-1.
They're just gonna try and find a way out of here, I guess.
Yeah. Might need to open the gate for them.
You don't even know what to do. Oh well.
2-1. That's low. 3 balls, 1 strike to Rice. That's
hit the bat
over
there.
His head. Yeah, Rice did well to bring that down. Bases are loaded now for the Stingers. Top of the third.
And I'll say that I've been saying this for years, but Dom may have won the MVP last year. The most valuable player to their team is Evan Clugston.
Yep.
And I know he had a rough first game. That was his first game back. We'll give him a pass, but you can see right here, when Evan's in control on the mound, it's easy breezy for the Cyclones.
And that's low, so 2-0 to Carlo. Low and in the dirt, 3 balls, no strikes. Big swing and a miss there from Carlo on 3-0, 3-1.
Got to respect it.
Way high and outside for ball 4, so that's going to walk in the go-ahead run. Stingers now take the lead here in the final inning. Now lead it 2-1.
I wonder if Alex gets into too much trouble here. They might warm up Zane. Evan's out of eligibility, but it's not very AWA-like to pull your pitcher in a game. It doesn't happen very often.
I know.
It's kind of like Little League, You got us in here, you take us out.
So Peter McNeil steps in.
Now with that go-ahead run already in, I know Peter's going to try and swing here, not try and walk in another run, even though that's not the worst case.
2-0 to McNeil. Fouled back into the booth. Strike 1, 2-1 the count.
Bounced through the booth.
And that rises high for ball 3. 3-1 to McNeil.
Jeez. Oh,
that fouls back on into the booth as well. Jeez.
Oh, I got a Reese.
Full count. That's low for ball 4, so that walks in another run. Stingers now lead it 3-1 here in the top of the 3rd inning.
Alex Ballard kind of taking his time here, getting some balls, figuring out what he's going to do against Drew, a very solid hitter. Drew Tenzar, 20 career home runs, batting .385 on this young year, has a home run already. 8 RBIs. That's going to put him in the top 5 in the RBI leaderboard.
Outside for ball 1, 1-0 to Tenzar.
He usually bats lefty, so I wonder what he's trying to do here. He's afraid of the lefty-lefty matchup, most likely.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. This isn't the first time he's come up and hit right-handed here tonight. 3-0. Fouls that one off. 3-1. That's outside for ball 4, so walk in another run. 4-1 Stingers, now you're in the top of the 3rd.
We're just getting word the Ducks did escape out the back gate.
It's a good deal. I'm glad the Ducks and the Ducklings made it out.
That'd be a tough lineup to face.
I mean, that's crazy. That's think of the timing on that, too. I mean, while we're playing a game, wow, that's wild. Cole Blevins steps in. Swing and a miss from him. 1-1. Nicks the top part of the zone. Strike 2. And Ballard really needed that. Gets Blevins to swing and miss. The high riser. That'll be out number 2. 2 outs in the inning. Jordan Rice stepping up to the plate. And the Stingers did what they needed to do so far in this inning. They've gotten 3 runs, giving themselves a lead. Trying to win this game to have the best record in the AWA.
Just a little bit low right there. Thought he stole a strike. Alex Ballard already up to 83 pitches, 56 balls, 27 strikes.
Inside ball 4, Jordan Rice walks and another run comes in, so it's now 5-1 Stingers.
There's no run cap here in the 3rd inning. Do have 2 outs, but right now it seems like the Stingers are just like, hey, if you can't throw a strike, we'll just take pitches all night.
Yeah.
Run this puppy up.
Barrett Carlo up to the plate. That's high for ball one. And, you know, the Cyclones, they still have Zane Phillips, who has not pitched yet tonight. So I'm wondering if maybe they're thinking about bringing him in. I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see. This at-bat's not going great so far.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Evan Cluxton, I'm bringing in Zane Phillips, but it looks like they're gonna let Alex Ballard keep going here as another run walks in, so it's 6-1 Stingers.
Peter McNeil will step in, fixing that trademark knee brace.
Trademark.
If anyone hasn't seen the injury, it's still on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, go check it out.
In 3 different angles. Oh, there's that knee brace. Nice.
Hey, the best part about getting injured here is if you ever need to go to the doctor and they say, "Hey, what happened?" You know, we got video evidence. So
yeah,
it's good news. 1-on-1.
I can tell you exactly what happened.
Here's 3 different
What
angles.
angle do you want?
Yeah. Popped up into the air. Alex Ballard underneath it, and he can't make the grab, but Zane Phillips was right there to pick him up, and Phillips makes the grab for out number 3. The Cyclones desperately needed that out. The Stingers, they add on 5 runs here in the top of the third, all via the walk. We go to the bottom of the third. Stingers up 6-1.
Here we go, starting the bottom of the third. Cyclones need 5 to tie, 6 to walk it off. Not impossible, just starts one batter at a time.
Just need base runners, just need base runners. Ballard looks at ball 1.
That would be against the bylaws.
That's outside for ball 2, and Rice just hasn't had the command that he normally has here tonight, so this could be a possibility, truly could be a possibility for this Cyclone squad to come back. That's a fair ball on the third base side. Alex Ballard, he got jammed there, but was able to push that out over past third for a single.
Perfect hit right there. I mean, lowest exit velo in the infield you could put it. That would result in a base hit.
It worked though. Jeremy Lankstead.
About 20.
Looks at ball 1. That's fouled off for a strike. 1-on-1 to Lankstead.
It's a good pitch to swing at, but that knuckle is just so hard to find.
Swing and a miss there. 1-2 to Lankstead. Strike 3. Jordan Rice with the knuckleball. Gets Lankstead to go around for out number 1, so 1 away. And Rice is now going to face Evan Clugston.
Evan Clugston's been a little quiet offensively here today. 0 for 1 with 2 walks in game number 3. It's a good hack. That pitch looked like it was coming in hot.
One-on-one to Clugston. Goes around there.
Those risers are tough to lay off of.
They look so good when they're coming in, but then they just rise way up sometimes. Hits the bottom part of the zone. Strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Jordan Rice. And there's now 2 away in the bottom of the third. Cyclones down to their final out.
Lock in, Jackson. I don't know if he's locked in.
He said, I'm so locked.
Oh, that'll work.
Ground ball down the third base side, and Jackson Carr beats the shift. So runners on first and second. Zane Phillips to the plate.
Zane's 1 for 2 here in game 3. Single and a fly out.
1-0. Hits the zone. Strike one. Does not go around, so it's 2-1 to Phillips.
Zane's had like 3 check swings every time Jason said no. So
he's done really well to hold off tonight.
He's paying the ump. I'd like to know his going rate.
Ripped over the head of Peter McNeil. Alex Ballard rounding third, and he'll hold up there. I don't know. I think if I'm Alex Ballard, I think I'm scoring in that situation. But
I mean, you definitely want to keep the inning alive, but that ball was so far back, even
I don't think
perfect throw probably wouldn't have reached.
I mean, if Tenzar would have been able to throw out Ballard from there, I mean, that would have been unbelievable.
We've seen it before with Jordan Rice down the third base line, nailed Trey Cluxton coming home. But once in a lifetime play. You haven't seen too many of those.
No, doesn't happen very often. Bases are loaded for the Cyclones. Alex Ballard coming up to the plate. Hey, maybe Alex is just like, you know, I'm just trying to give myself an opportunity to hit a grand slam.
Hey, you know, not the worst idea.
Pad the stats a little bit.
Oh, he caught it. He definitely caught it.
I caught that. I caught that. 1-1. Ballard swing and miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cyclones down to their final strike. And Ballard does not go around there. He does well to hold up. 2-2 is the count.
Definitely in between.
That was too close for comfort. Fouls that one off.
Definitely in swing mode after last 2 pitches.
2-2.
But the next runner or batter after Alex would be the tying run.
Ground ball right back to Jordan Rice. He flips on over to Carlo at first, and the Stingers take game 3, final score of 6-1. The Stingers, they win the series here against the Cyclones tonight, and they improve their record to 5-1 on the season. They have the best record in the AWA this year.
And the 2 teams that went to the World Series last year are now bottom of the leaderboard at 2-4, the Nighthawks and the Cyclones. It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Exactly, exactly. Well, thank you, everybody, for being with us here tonight for Cyclones versus Stingers. We will be back with you all next week starting on Monday. We hope everybody has a great night, a great rest of the week, and a great weekend. We'll see you next week.